Hey folks, I wasn't gonna put another video up so soon. I'm waiting for 5 subscribers to my channel so I can show you guys a knot you've never seen before. I figured out on my own, and it is the whole foundation of everything I do. So maybe this one will get a couple of subscribers, but it's time to myth bust. And the thing I'm gonna myth bust today is fly fishing for carp. Now, last couple days, I've gone out to my little community lake and I've caught huge carp on a 5-weight fiberglass fly rod. In fact, I broke a rod and I had to go out and get a net today because I ain't going to let that happen again. But every one of these little lakes is just filled with carp, but they're usually so dirty, you never know it. The way you find out that they're filled with carp, right, is you catch one. And once he starts running, you'll see that there's 30 fish that take off at the same time. Carp are extremely smart, extremely wary, and they'll actually spook just because they hear your footfalls as you walk along the bank. So I've developed a method I call flarping, where I take all my fly gear and I only make one little change. Instead of a fly, I put on a little basic hair rig. Now you can research hair rigs, and that's what they developed in England about 30 years ago. And of course, that's what there's a lot of carpers in the US that use these methods, but these methods are all spinning gear, long rods, and believe me, these guys are gear junkies like you wouldn't believe. They have all these boilies, right, which are these little round things that get baked. But you don't need any of that. Carp in this country, right, are not pressured at all. And you know all the reasons why. Yet, there's probably a fish a couple of miles from where you live that if you hooked into him, that might be the biggest freshwater fish you ever catch, and it's almost certainly the strongest. So I can teach that method. I can put videos out there where I'm sitting on the water. I can do all those things, and in a short period of time, you can dust off all that fly gear, right, and go out and find a big fish. Now, you know how you learn that you hear that, well, you don't really need a drag on your trout reel when you fly fish. It's really just for holding line. Nuh-uh. Not with carp. They are strong. They are fast. They will put you in your backing really quick, even if they're only, 7 or 8 pounds. And there really isn't little carp. I don't know why that is, but you really can't catch little carp. You can only catch really nice carp. Bigger, stronger than trout by about 3x. Let's put it that way. So if you want to learn how to flarp, and that's what I call what I do, I'll put those videos up there too if you subscribe, because I need to know that there are people who will identify themselves that watch my video just because I don't like lurkers. I just don't like it. My methods are so revolutionary and so effective. Once a lurker gets a hold of them, it'll be all over the internet. Well, that's what you got to live with. I don't like the whole YouTube algorithm thing. I don't like production values. I know just these little videos and my knowledge, right, can give you the edge you need to go out. And so I will wait for you to respond. I like dialogue too, but I'm going to give you a warning. I catch monster carp on a fly rod, and I use corn on a hair rig. It turns out carp love corn. Like I said, the fish aren't pressured anywhere. You can use the corn to throw it out where you want to go. Put out your chair and sit there and watch the ducks and the egrets and the turtles and the snakes and the hawks. And my little lake has all that stuff. I get, Mutual of Omaha, kind of scenery. Well, that might be too old for most of you, but anyway, I get all this nature scenery, but you also have to watch what's going on. You won't see the carp, and that's the problem with fly fishing. If you can't see ahead, you can't cast to it, you got to give up. I did that for 2 years on this lake, and I know it's filled with carp, and all I managed was a couple of little scum suckers. Now, the ones I catch now, they are, they're mean, lean, and just so strong. That's why they call them, backyard bonefish. So I'll post this. Maybe the title or something will get somebody to find it. But I can get you up and catching big carp at a place that nobody fishes. My lake, I'm the only one that's ever fished it for 4, 5, 6 years. I'd see an old guy out there catching bullhead catfish every once in a while, but that is it. I've never seen the Euro carpers show up, right? I don't know why, except I think those guys, you pay for a 12-foot rod and a big spinning reel, and you've got all this weight on the end. Method feeders is what they call them, and you pack them with, dough ball, and you chuck them out there, and they're there to draw fish. But heck, I just throw out some corn, wait a few minutes. You'll see the fish kind of swirling and whatever. And these fish are so spooky that you'll see what looks like a nibble, and it's just the carp kind of picking it up, dropping it, and going, do I want to do this? And you'll actually see them circle around and do it again. And when they pick it up and your line starts to straighten, you set that hook, but you let go real fast because now you got to be on your drag. That's why sometimes I think the best idea for most guys is to put their 8-weight reel with a sealed drag, right, on a 5-foot or a 5-weight fiberglass rod. I would not take my graphite out there. You're going to bust it. But there are so many cheap fiberglass, rods that you can buy that will just make it so much fun. You get that, that top eye, bent down like this, line screaming. I can get you there. I can get you there really fast. A few simple things you got to learn. The casting is not that spectacular, but I can throw my rig, not a very heavy rig, 60 feet, and it does teach you how to learn how to load a rod. You learn everything you really need to know about managing drag, managing fish, fish that you can't really horse with. You've got to finesse them. So let's see how this goes. But carp fishing on a fly is a myth. There might be some places, right, where the water's clear enough that you can see the fish, and maybe you need a boat, but why spend the money for a guide and all that stuff? Save that for your trout trips. 5 miles away, right, are big carp. You can catch them, and it is a blast. So this is Uncle Bob. They call you Uncle if you never had any kids, whatever. And I want to teach you flarping. And if you're in Texas like me, that'll get you through the year. And then you get your 2 or 3 trout trips, right, to, the Big Mo or Green River or my favorite, San Juan. But you probably won't catch a stronger fighting fish on those trout trips than you will in that little duck pond, couple miles away in Subdivision X. Let's see. Bye-bye.